Sound check. Let's see if sound works. Check, check, check. It works. Sound check works. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. 808 State here, and my buddy Bradda Jed.
Oh, aloha.
We were tasked with the review of the TriplTek Pro, which we now got to try out for 4 weeks, guys. I appreciate all you guys coming by. I see you already. We get Alpha Drone. We have Hot Rod in Daytona. And yeah, Jed, 4.5 weeks of TriplTek Pro. What's your take, bro?
Man, I like this little thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's good fun.
Is the live audio, is it working? Live audio. He said live audio. Live audio. Live audio. Is it working? Just give me a thumbs up. Give me a 1. Give me a 2. Give me a 3. So TriplTek Pro, we tried it out for 4.5 weeks, and it is a nifty little thing. I'll tell you that. It's really good. So it is very bright, has a very bright screen, as you guys can see right here. And yeah, Jed first.
Well, the thing I like about it, or the things that I liked about it, were the screen is large.
7-inch.
For droning.
7-inch is large.
It's larger than my iPhone. I watched a couple movies on it. I was able to play some games. It's pretty quick, very responsive. I don't know. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, I dropped it twice. I dropped it twice because I was jimmy rigging for my drones over here. The good part is I got from Skyfi Aerial a nifty little prototype mount in the back, which makes it possible for me to mount it to my Skyfi Aerial for my controller. So this thing weighs a pound and then some, like a pound and a half. So, but it works really good, as you guys can see. So it's really good, especially if you have that wing in the bottom to stabilize the handles. Then this tablet is amazing. So yeah. So you watched movies?
Oh, you know, Korean drama.
So he watched Korean drama. I like the responsiveness on the screen itself too. It's really good, like really, really good. Like my fingers are usually always dry, and they do the weirdest things usually. but this thing is really responsive. Even with that, what is this? Like a matte screen. It has like a thick film on top for anti-glare.
Protective covering.
Yeah, so like a protective screen cover. And that usually with my dry hands or whatever is usually always interfering. But this thing does everything. Like it does, if you guys can see this, it does the Autel app, Explorer app without problems. It does Kitty Hawk right here. You see it? So yeah, Kitty Hawk right there. Kitty Hawk. Can you see it? Oh, holding it in the glare.
Also, social media. You can go on.
Yeah, you can go on Facebook. You can go.
You can send yourself emails.
Yeah. Paradigm Offie, free flight app right there. That works as well. Flew my Paradigm Offie. Yeah, I flew my Paradigm Offie right into his head.
Yeah. Oh, my ears are still ringing.
So the DJI app as well, it works without problems. And yeah, I clocked about 500 flights with the drones. The Autel, the DJI Mavic Mini, the Paradigm Offie. I got 500 flights out of combined all three drones, and I have to tell you, it's 5.5 hours of easy using this thing. It does draw energy power from your controllers, so if you want, you got to look for those higher resistant wires. There are some online somewhere. I got sent one from TriplTek itself to plug into your USB over here to go from the USB into the USB-C into the tablet. The cool part is, you know how you get it with the phone when you hook up your phone to your controller? You usually have to plug in the wire after because sometimes the phone does not respond when the controller comes on. You have to plug in the wire after. This one, as soon as I start up the controller and have the wire already plugged in, the app that is pertaining to each drone just came on its own.
Automatic.
Yeah, and that was really good. I really like that. The other part was that the power draw was at a 1 amp at some point for this Autel controller, and after the latest firmware update, which was 2.518, it went down to half an amp. And then with the higher resistant wire, you go down to like, what was it, 0.36? It's barely anything. So you barely draw any power for it anymore. But I flew with the Autel drone itself. I flew 5.5 batteries until the controller was depleted. It barely scratched the tablet. So the tablet, I flew, like I said, 500 flights with all these drones combined. And I never had to recharge once. Recharging time for this thing is
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, around there. The other good part is all the ports are like blocked off with like really thick caps, and it's kind of a pain to get in there, but once you figure it out, it goes in there. So what they do is, because of this thick construction, what they do is it's water resistant, it's dust resistant, and it's a tough book. You know how they had what was that, a laptop, the notebook, whatever, the tough book. That's pretty much what this thing is too. Like it's a durable little thing. It does come warm to the touch if you let it run longer. Like I ran it at some point. What we was watching, some movie, Monster Hunter, whatever we was watching, and it was like 2 hours, and it came kind of warm to the touch. But apparently, the way this thing is constructed, it does like it's like a, what is it, like, what you call those, the fans in the back for cooling, because there's a metal plate in the back over here, so disperse the heat. So that's why it comes warm to the touch but not uncomfortable. You know how some devices come really, really hot, and it's really irritating. So Jed was a lot on his social media, Instagram, Facebook,
all that stuff, Twitter.
So it does have SIM capabilities. So if you have a SIM card that is not locked to your device, then you can insert that, and I think it is within that package that comes in this box. The box itself does come with a charger, with a USB-C charger, because it uses a USB-C wire to charge, and it does come with the with the iPhone plug-in, right?
Yeah.
It has a converter from micro USB to either the iPhone stuff, or where's the SIM stuff? Put it in here.
I don't know.
I thought it was in here. There's a small package usually with the SIM card stuff. Unless it's in the house. Sorry, I left it in the house because I was trying it out. So I did buy one of those prepaid phone cards from Walmart. They run through Verizon, I think, and they're not linked to that device itself. So it's like one of those flip phones. And I plugged it in here, so you can either use Wi-Fi for it and have Wi-Fi hooked up to it. Let me try Wi-Fi right now. My phone somewhere away? Do you have a hotspot on your phone? Oh, yeah, I get it right here. So if you have your phone with you, let's say I put a hotspot with my phone. So you can leave your phone in your pocket or whatever, and then you have the capability of turning on the Wi-Fi. It's just like an Android. This is an Android 9.0. So once you have internet, boom. Now we're online. We're on Amazon right there. So you can scroll, you can do whatever. And that actually makes your Kitty Hawk and everything work too with GPS and all that stuff. So it actually feeds off of your Wi-Fi if you're in the field. If you have Wi-Fi at home that has a bigger range to the outside, you can hook up to the Wi-Fi over there. And if you have the SIM card, that stuff belongs on the top over here in those slots right here. You can put that in there. It also supports up to a 256 gigabyte SD card. And it also does take pictures and videos. I think it's a 12 megabit, 12 MB. Yeah, right there. See this ugly little guy right there? So you can take pictures and videos and stuff. So it's really cool. So if you're out in the field and you like take a picture of a sunset while you're filming the stuff with your drone and stuff and whatever, do a hyperlapse, you can utilize it for that. And what else?
Well, I got to actually use it on your drone here.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I noticed that it was way better than the screen that you had before.
Yeah, my phone?
Yeah, your phone. And so when I actually got the drone up at about 200 feet, the picture was so clear. And it was a really bright day.
Yeah.
The amazing thing about this tablet is I never had to like try and turn up the brightness, or if there was any glare, I could see clearly.
Yeah, it's 1200 nits, 1200 nits of power that actually feed into this thing. So 1200 nits that make a lot of difference, because with this one, we have to look for shade, or we have to be the shade for when it sits on top of your controller, and you can barely see anything because the phone, it peaks at like what, 700 nits. The problem is it doesn't maintain those 700 nits, so it stays in an average like 450 or 550 nits. So yeah, that's a huge difference. While with this one, we could be bright sun, everything right on top, and it's no issue. It has no problem because that anti-glare thing that is mounted on top of that screen. If you want to have a more responsive screen, you can take that off, but then you risk having more glare and reflection from the screen itself, because the screen itself, like when you look right here, you see how this is right now in comparison to my phone. When you look at my phone is really glary right now. It's like really, and this one barely does it. It has like this matte screen on top, so you don't really have that glare that bad, you know. So there is sort of like a reflection, but it's barely minimal. But at least you still can see the screen. You can still read everything that is on top. Downfall on this thing is, in my eyes, because it does have that whole rugged design, it is heavy. Like it becomes really heavy after flying it for like 4.5 or 5 hours with all these drones and stuff. And I was exhausted, like literally, like my hands were sore from holding it up. But that's if you really fly like for extended periods of times. Another bad part about it is I don't know about the strap in the back. I mean, I barely got to use it, but you said something about it earlier.
Yeah, I think you know, TriplTek might want to think about the design here. If they can put a couple more of these latches on the top and the bottom, so that if you're actually using the tablet as a tablet instead of with your drone, you're watching a movie, you're going on Facebook, you're doing whatever, you can actually slide your hand into a handhold, because it is 1.5 pounds. Yeah. It's kind of heavy to hold for a couple hours if you're watching a movie. But if you can slide it in there, your hand is comfortable. Because honestly, who watches a movie like this? Right?
The Instagram guys.
But besides the weight, I think honestly, even though it's heavy, I'm not afraid to drop this thing. You know, I did drop this thing.
How many times?
Several
times.
Well,
flimsy,
we had to test it,
but not the dropping part.
I'm just saying, you know, if any company says rugged in the ad,
yeah,
you got to make sure it's rugged.
Yeah, it is rated to be shock resistant from 5.5 feet up. I mean down, and I dropped it from like 4 feet from my waistline twice because I didn't mount it good on my stuff, and plus I was jimmy rigging for my DJI controller, and I was jimmy rigging for the Paradigm Alpha controller.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. So, and then I definitely yeah. Well, I flew the drone into his head. I tried to hit a can off his head.
You guys will see that later.
Yeah, so we did work together on a review on this, which is an in-depth review. It has all the details inside there, probably some super nice close-up shots as well. And I think you guys gonna like it. So if you guys have any questions, just post them inside here. Big nits. Somebody said already here. Randy McNeely said love big nits. Yeah, big nits is nice. Yeah. So big nits is good. I did come up with a comparison. When you look at it, there is the Crystal Sky system right over here. So the Crystal Sky itself comes as a $500 price range, 45.5 inches. And then it has a $749 for the 7.85 inches. So this one does have, I think, 1,200 nits or 1,000 nits. And then they have the Ultra Bright, which is almost 1,000, which is over $1,000. So that one does have 2,000 nits, which in my eyes is overkill, yeah. Because I flew this in freaking high sunrise, like it's like 12 noon. The sun is literally above you. It's white, like really white, the sun, and it's super bright. It's so bright that it hurts my eyes looking somewhere, a white surface or whatever. It really hurts. And I still could see the screen. That was no problems whatsoever. So in comparison to that, on the shop itself, the TriplTek, the regular tablet, which is the 6GB tablet, is $600 at this point. For $175, you get the TriplTek 7 Pro 8GB. So the difference in between these two, I believe, let's see if I can find the tech specs. On the tech specs, you're going to see right here that they have 8GB in RAM versus 6GB in RAM. They have the same, I think they have a 8-core 64 bits and a 10-core 64 bits for the CPU. So what has changed in there, really, I don't really know. But the RAM has changed up to 2 GB more RAM. Then the internal memory is already 128 gigs, but it is capable of having 256 gigs as an SD card as an add-on, which is good. And then the operating system on the regular tablet is Android 8.1, while the new one, the Pro, has Android 9.0. It has a 10,000 milliamp per hour battery. That's probably why it lasts that long. Like, I had it for a couple days on standby, and it didn't even touch the battery. Like, it was like, when I left it, it was 99%. And then I come back a couple days later and I look at it, and it was literally like only like, what? Like 80% maybe? You know what I mean? It barely drew any power from it. So that's the good part about it. So you guys can find that on the TriplTek website itself. And price-wise, I'd say this is the better deal, simply because Crystal Sky is just a monitor. So Crystal Sky is not as versatile as this. You have third-party apps that you can put on. You can put any of your games. If you're experienced with Android already, this thing is going to spoil you based on that. If you want to fly your drone and you want a tablet that is really bright and you want to utilize it, and this thing is really good. Like, it literally is really good. Yeah, it's heavy, but it is very rugged. It's not like any other flimsy tablet that can drop down to the sky. I mean, drop down on the ground and then boom, the screen is cracked. Like I said, I dropped it twice. He dropped it several times, and it doesn't even have a scratch. Like, you can't even tell that we dropped it. So let's see what the chat says. The chat, there are a few guys that wrote something. Let's pull it up. I just tried my new TriplTek Pro today in the bright Arizona sun. It did great. Yes, it's a little heavy, but with a neck strap, it was fine. Awesome. Let's see the next one. Bob also says, I like the way it boots up really fast compared to my much slower Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, I noticed that too. So even when it's off, let's turn it off right now. I'm gonna turn this bad boy off, power off. So shutting it down, it's already shut down. I just pressed the button. So now I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna turn this bad boy on. Did I hit the right button? So this is the startup sequence right here. So it's gonna start up right now. It's hard to see for you guys.
It's because the screen's too bright.
Yeah. So this is the startup sequence. And right after this, boom, it's done already. I can slide this open and it's already done. So it only takes a few seconds. So the startup sequence is really, really fast. Bob says get the 8GB Pro to future-proof it a bit. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's really good. I like using the special cable from TriplTek that keeps the Autel controller from charging the tablet. Much longer battery life for the controller that way. Yes. I'm not quite sure if TriplTek is actually selling it at this point. Because I know that they've been behind because they had a lot of orders for their TriplTek tablets. And they ran out of stock at some point. So when I asked them for the wire, they sent me one, and it's a small little USB wire, and I think even that is in the house right now. I'm so not prepared for this live stream. So, and it's a small USB that comes out in the bottom. Then you can hook up your wire to it, and then you run your USB-C into your tablet on the top. It does make a difference based on that. I flew 4.5 batteries. Yeah, almost 5 batteries with the Autel Evo 2 Pro until my controller was dead. With the wire on, it was 7 batteries or 7.5 batteries until the controller was dead. So until the controller was at a level that I'm not sure that I really want to fly for long periods of time. So I don't try to deplete my controller past 10%. And the same thing with the batteries for the drone itself. I don't fly anything further away below 25%. Once I reach like 10-15% already, that's like max for me to fly my drone. Then I put it onto the ground and I recharge my battery. So we have Robert Hernandez. He says, finally got my Evo 2 Pro. Landed in Belize. Belize. Where's Belize? Where's Belize?
Over.
Oh, over there.
Yeah.
Need one of those TriplTek tablets for this bright Caribbean sun. Oh, Belize is in the Caribbean.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'm jealous. And we're in Hawaii.
Where do you go for vacation?
I know. Where do you go when you live in Hawaii? I stay home actually and fly this drone because right now there's like snow everywhere.
Like Guam or Iceland or something.
So, and I did take this up all the way to the top of the mountain, which was like 14,000 feet. I had the tablet up there and it was super cold. It was like 28 degrees up there. And the tablet did great. Like it had no issues whatsoever running. There was no stuttering in it. It was not slowing down or anything like that. So that was a really good one too. They have a new cable that is USB controller to USB-C for the tablet. Yes, and it actually plugs in the bottom for that Autel controller. It plugs in the bottom over here on the right side. So you can utilize that from there, and the USB-C runs from there into your tablet. So far, I think I'll just run it this way because, like I said, the firmware update was that it only draws 0.5 amp from the controller when it charges. So that is sort of like different already.
Yeah,
so
you can't really tell a difference in the time either, right?
Not really, because once I deplete my full batteries already, I'm headed home. You know what I mean? So, and then I'm charging my controller and I'm charging up all my batteries and stuff. So usually you don't necessarily really need that wire unless you really want to fly extended periods of times and don't want to recharge your controller. But I usually don't. So Alpha 9 says, how accessible are the cable inputs? Sometimes cases make it difficult. Did you have any issues? No, I didn't. So you have this port right over here. So I open it up right here. This is your port cable. And this is for my controller. And I literally just hold it open. Boom, I'm hooked up. See? Right there, hooked up. So accessibilities for all these is super easy. You can just open them up. It does have a audio jack on the top for your headphones that you can. Like I said, they're kind of a pain to get in there, but they do what they're supposed to be doing. So there is a. So there is a port on the top for the audio jack that you can put in a headset. With the headset itself, is because in my eyes the speaker is a little bit too quiet, but I mean that's just me. You know, I'm deaf on one side.
No,
I know.
can't get it.
Yeah, right.
We need the
So
tool.
give me the knife behind you.
Which one?
The big one.
That's not
So-
a knife.
That's a knife. So there's a corner right over here. See? Boom. So this is the audio jack right over here, which is a 3.5mm jack that you can plug in your headphone. But it also has Bluetooth capability. So you can utilize any Bluetooth headset with it as well if you want to listen to stuff. And I actually did that in order for listening to a movie. So that was pretty good.
I like the Bluetooth too.
Yeah. So Wrestler may say, hello, my friend. So glad you're talking about this. Awesome. What's up, my man? That was a great live stream we had last time. I was guest with them over there. Check it out on Skip Smith and the Villages. Hot Rod says, any word when they might have a new firmware for Evo 2? No, I haven't. I actually gave up on that already. Like, I have been waiting so long for it, and I called them multiple times and tried to see if they're going to say anything about firmware or what a new firmware is going to do, but they haven't answered me on it. So I'm just waiting, just like you guys. I'm just waiting.
You know, another thing I do want to mention about this, the construction of this thing, is you guys are familiar with the OtterBox for like iPhone, Android. It's like water resistant. This thing is kind of like an OtterBox, except for the there's like metal on the inside.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, he dropped it. I dropped it. Not even a scratch on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So the outside is actually surrounded by hard rubber plastic, like really. It's like really hard rubber. It almost feels like metal. And then in the inside of that, you have these metal things. There's metal frame that is in here. And that is actually really like, I mean, they make space shuttles out of this, right?
Titanium alloy.
Actually, I can look it up. There was a name for it. They had a name for it. Let me look that up real quick. So there was a name for this whole thing.
Thinking about just buying one of these instead of my new cell phone.
You could, because it has SIM card capability, so I wouldn't see why not. It's just the data rates that apply are different. Unless you're going to tell them, can you match my SIM card for this device? So, let's see. TriplTek Pro. There's a name for that construction, you know. So it does have a, where did it go? Unless it was in the tech specs. There's a name for that. There's a name for that, the way it is constructed, like what it is made out of. And I'm not sure if I'm missing it right now. There was a specific name for that. It says rugged military construction, but there was a special name for it. I don't know. I can't find it right now.
I don't know. It seems like an amalgamation of like plastic and metal.
Yeah. B-Bessie says, something charged, at least on my phone. Video is slightly out of focus. I'm going to drop out and come back. Oh, okay. And then Alpha 9 says, thumbs up. Did you find the port covers to be a little tight at first? I had to use a screwdriver to get them open. Yeah, we just had that. Like, they're usually very tight, but that's what makes it water resistant. That's what makes it dust resistant, and that's what makes it shockproof. It is because of those ports. So if you have a small little screwdriver that you can in your pocket, whatever, and you can just pop it open. Once it's open, it's open. You know what I mean? Until you close it, shut it close. And it is really good. Like, the ports are really accessible. They're really good. And I mean, I really like the construction on it, the way it's put together. It really
which is perfect for where we live. Because
right there. Alpha says military grade titanium alloy. Thank you, Alpha. Appreciate it.
This kind of system construction is perfect for where we live because at any given moment it rains sideways.
Yeah,
you know,
especially in Hawaii. I think Captain Drone Bird, his in snow, was fine when he took it out. Yes, and I actually sprayed it all over when I was doing when we was doing the review video and I was doing some B-roll for it. I had like a spray can and I was spraying water all over it, like literally everywhere. And I just wiped it down and it was good. It was fine. Like I said, there's no buttons that are fully exposed unless you open up the ports and spray directly into it. I think other than that, I don't think it's submersible, so you can't submerge it. It's gonna leak somehow, somewhere through, but it is resisted. So that means if it's just like drizzle, rain, or misty, whatever, then no problem. Or if it ends up pouring and you run through the rain and then you just wipe it down real quick, I don't think you're gonna have a problem with it.
Or you accidentally spill something on it,
like coffee.
Throw it in a bag of rice for overnight.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I had a weird experience this morning with my Evo 2 Pro. The camera feed went dead, but the telemetry kept going. Drone responded to controls and returned home when button pressed. Rebooted and saved. What? So is your stuff still working? So, ABS plastic. Is that ABS plastic? Is that what it is? Instead of thick rubber? I thought it was like really hardened rubber. I didn't know it was ABS plastic. It feels nice though. Like it feels soft, like really smooth, the edges and stuff. It feels really good. I really like it. I dig this thing. I'm totally spoiled with it. It's just too bad I have to send it back. Came home and it's working normal. Oh, so now it's working normal. Maybe a glitch, software glitch. I don't know. Oh, display function on controller didn't work either at the time. Going to reach out to Autel. Yeah, I would. Definitely, I would. Anytime you have display issues and whatnot, I would say that's really, you don't really want to do any of that stuff. So it does have a microphone for recording as well, which has the microphone port in the bottom over here. So it's like a tiny little hole. What is this other one over here? Oh yeah, the locking, and then get SOS as well. So it has the function when you press SOS. Once you press the button for SOS, it actually is going to ask you for your emergency information, and then you can plug that in. So which is usually when you press SOS and you have it all filled out prior to that already, it's going to contact the person that you actually put in here, or even 911 emergency services. So it's like a survival tablet for the outsides that you can use.
You may have to delete some videos. I uploaded some karaoke to my social media.
Okay, so yeah. Other than that, you can look up your emails with it. You have possibilities of texting, text messages. I have no conversations in here right now, but like even when you want to type something, it has like that huge bright. You can't really see it, guys, but a huge keyboard in the bottom right there, and it's really responsive. And now it's starting to pour rain over here. So. What else do we have? Mil spec? What is that, mil spec? I don't know if you guys can hear the rain, but it's really loud right now. It's been pouring rain lately, like really bad.
Yeah, it's winter in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's literally it's winter in Hawaii. What else do we have here? I don't know. I don't have nothing else. And plus, it's starting to pour rain right now. If you guys don't have any other questions, I would say we'll cut it for today with this rain. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bradda Jed, thank you very much for your help. And thank you for coming. I appreciate you guys all. Don't forget, COVID-19 is still out there to get you. Be a nice human.
Wear your mask.
And wash your hands. Aloha.